Hi. Hello again. I am Lou. I am female to male, transgender, and I have been on testosterone for 11 months now. Today is Friday, and Fridays for me are T-shot days. And basically what that means is that every Friday I have to take testosterone, and I take testosterone with injections. And I figured to show you all how I do my T-shots. To keep in mind, this is how I do my T-shots. This is how my doctor taught me to take my shots. This is how I have been taking them for the past 11 months. And this is just my routine. If you are transgender yourself, please do what your doctor tells you to do and not me, because I am not a professional. I am not in a medical expertise or anything. This is just how it was taught to me and how I do my shots every Friday. So please do not follow this as like a instruction video on how to do your shot. This is just how I do my shot. So please, please, please follow what your doctor says and not me. So anyway, I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna show you how I do my T-shot, and I hope you enjoy. So trans tip number 1, which is this. I know it looks weird, it's just a box, but this box helps me. It's my T-box. So I recommend that if you are doing hormonal injections, to get a box and fill it up with a whole bunch of stuff that is perfect for you. So inside is all the stuff that I use and the stuff that I need to do my T-shots. There's band-aids, there's this thing which I'm forgetting what it's called right now. Here's all my syringes and needles. Here's a healthcare kit for some reason, and here's my alcohol prep pads and the actual testosterone. So I recommend to get yourself a box like this to keep yourself organized and make sure you're not losing anything. So yeah. Alright, so I recommend doing this on a flat surface, of course, because you don't want any of your stuff to like roll off or fall off or anything. But anywho, I have a paper, and it's basically just a paper towel. I like to put it on just in case, for sanitary reasons. Not that my desk is dirty, but which you should always wipe down your desk. So first thing to do is wipe your desk down, make sure it's clean. That's what I do. And then I add this just on top, just in case. Then you get all your materials from your box and you put them on this paper, which I'll show you right now. A little sharps container, which is right here. When you basically, this is where you keep all the needles in, and it's for safety reasons. Don't ever throw away your needles in the trash can. That is bad. I have a band-aid, my testosterone. I do testosterone at 30 ml. I started at first at 0.1, which was 10, and then 0.2, and now I am at 0.3 ml. An alcohol prep pad, I have quite a few. Usually I grab about 3 to 4, and I have some hand sanitizer for sanitary reasons. You don't want any germs to get into your system, especially if it's through injection. It's instantly going into you, and especially right now with the whole COVID thing going on, you don't want anything to get in you. I have my syringe, my needle, and I'm forgetting what this is called right now, but it's basically something to measure out your testosterone properly into the syringe. So yeah, you could probably see my double chin. Hello. But here we start. So I'm gonna like douse, because I washed my hands, and now I'm gonna douse my hands in hand sanitizer, because sanitary is always important. So then second step that I do is I take my testosterone out, and usually when you get a new bottle, there will be a little cap on the top, But this is one that I had already used. As you can tell, that's kind of like going down a little bit. I already popped the cap off and all that, so I don't have to worry about that. Take an alcohol prep pad off, put it over there, and I'm gonna have to wash the top and make sure you get all around in where this is. This is where the needle and the syringe and everything goes to get your testosterone. You clean around the edges. I always like to clean around here and right here, and I do this for about 10 seconds. Then I let that sit there, and you let it sit for another 10 seconds. While you're waiting for that, you can start to prepare everything else. And what I like to do is I like to get an alcohol prep pad out right here, just leave it right here, and you'll see why I have it there later. And then I'm gonna get my band-aid ready, because just in case. I always like to do it like this. This is how I do it. And then start to undo this. And it's like a little pouch, so you can see how it kind of like holds it. It's a cannula, that's what it is, that's what it's called. I remembered. Here's the needle. Once again, like a little pouch right here. And then this right here. And they're all open and ready. So I'm gonna grab my syringe, and then I'm gonna pull back on this, just because if I were to put this cannula, which measures the testosterone, the perfect amount of testosterone, into the syringe, there is built up pressure in here from the start, so it's always good to release some of that pressure out and just pull this back a little bit every now and again before you start to measure anything into the syringe. I grab my cannula, that's what it's called, and put this in and gently twist it, not too hard, because you don't want to make it to where it's impossible to get it off. Then you take this out, and you can see that this is not a needle. This is not something you stick in yourself. It would not go in. This is what you do to measure your T, and basically, you just put it in through here. And then you flip it upside down, and then you pull back slowly and make sure no bubbles get in to where your measurement is supposed to be at, which is at 0.3 for me. And I used to be at 0.1, which was right here, and then 0.2, and now I'm here at 0.3. So I get about this much of testosterone in myself every Friday, and it's really cool. So I'm gonna start pulling back very slowly, and then you're gonna be able to see it come out. Alright, so this is at the level that I want it at. This is at 0.3, and then basically you flip it around and you outtake this thing. And then my doctor had told me that I will be wasting T if I don't pull back a little bit. The cannula that I have, I don't know if you can see right here, but this basically right here is a whole bunch of space, and all this space stores testosterone. So watch, if I pull back, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but you can see this, and you can see that more is starting to go in, and there. So basically you have to empty this top out in order to make sure that you are not wasting any T. And this is me, like if I weren't to do this, I'd be wasting almost a whole entire thing of like testosterone. And then you take this out, because you can't use that to put all of that in. Now you put the needle in. Now this is where you take this off. You know, make sure you take it off gently, gentle as possible. And this is where you have to be really careful, or I have to be really careful. So I have to grab the needle and then inject this back into here, and you have to make sure that you inject it right where you already punctured the hole into, because then it'll be difficult. And you can see that little bubble right there, but it'll go away. Right now, and pump all of that stuff that was in the little cannula thing back into the bottle because you don't want to waste it. And you get it back to where your original dosage is, which for me is 0.3, as I said before. And then you slowly take this out, and you don't want to leave this open out in the air for long, so put this back on quickly. And then this you can put back into the box. Now I'm going to douse my hands once again in a whole bunch of this and all of this sort of stuff. Now I'm going to stand up for this just to demonstrate how I do it. Whatever my shirt is, I tuck it into my binder so that it doesn't get in the way of any of this, because this is where I inject. I inject myself every Friday in my stomach, and I do it counterclockwise. So let's say I start here on, let's say I did my shot here last Friday. I don't want to keep injecting this spot every time, because if I inject into this spot every time, it'll start to irritate it and get really bad, and it won't be good for me. It's not healthy. So that means I have to rotate it every time. So let's say last Friday I did it right here, then this Friday I do it here, and then next Friday I do it here, and then next Friday I do it here, and then back here again. So then I just keep rotating to make sure that I don't irritate my skin or my body, because that would be bad. A good thing to do is to document where I last did my shot, because I forgot where I did my last tee shot. I can't remember if it was here, 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 I don't know, right? So trans tip definitely is to document where I last did my shot. So what I have here is, in my notes, I document all of my tee shots and where I last did it, because I don't want to do it in the same spot and then I want to do something wrong. So my last tee shot was on April 3rd, so last Friday, on my left lower quad, so right here. But now, since I did it here last time, I'm going to do it over here. I'm going to take out this alcohol prep pad, and I'm going to grab a chunk of my meat and where I'm going to inject, and I'm just going to clean the area. And I like to even clean even further out more, just because you never know where you're exactly going to inject, and it's always good to be safe and sanitary, like I have been saying this whole time, for at least 10 seconds. So everything that we're doing a lot of the time is around 10 seconds. So yeah. And it is cleaned, and now I have to wait for it to dry for 10 more seconds. Now I'm gonna try to demonstrate how I'm going to inject this. I'm not gonna inject it fully yet. I'm just gonna show you how I do it. So I'm gonna grab a piece of my meat, and this, like I was saying last time, is gonna point toward you technically right now and away from me, and I'm gonna angle it at a certain angle this way into my skin, so that the needle goes in all the way and hits perfectly into my pet. And then I will grab this part and inject it slowly into myself, and I will still be holding a piece of my meat until it goes all the way in, and then slowly I will pull the needle out within about 3 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, and then gently in 3 seconds as well start to release as I'm pulling. And I won't be talking during my tee shot because I need like silence for my tee shot. So yes. make sure that this safety. Grab that little piece of pad that I was talking about earlier. Put it against it. Jiggle your tummy. This is what I do to make sure it gets all around. And then put it there. And then you're done. Ooh, you did it. Always make sure that you take this off and don't drop it like I did. You unscrew this off the top and make sure that you put it in here for safety, okay? That's how I do my T-shot. Of course, like I said earlier, this is how I do my T-shot. So please, if your doctor tells you different instructions, follow their instructions. This isn't an instruction video, this is just how I do my shot, and maybe it's for entertainment for any of you guys who are watching it, or if you're bored and you just wanted to see something new, or whatever the case is. This is not an instruction video, this is how I do my shot, so please follow what your doctor says. I hope that this was like informative and like fun to watch, to see like what I have to do every Friday for myself. Hope you all have a good weekend and stay safe and healthy, especially during this time. So goodbye, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and like I always say, if you don't want to, then don't. You can just leave a dislike, I don't care. But see ya, and bye.